All right, here we are with sponsored by nobody, Storytime. This is a new thing Peter suggested based on how we shoot the shit in between games. So I'm Devon.
And Nicole.
Ian.
And Peter.
And the title of this episode is Orbie, Part 1. So let's give a bit of background here. We were talking about games and how they go off the rails and how, like, oftentimes when you're setting up games, there's just near misses that don't happen and weird stuff and games get canceled. And that prompted me to tell the stories of Orbie. So let me give you some references here. One, Katie and Orbie was a children's show that came on when I was a kid on YTV. It was I'm almost certain it was French Canadian about a little pink alien called Orbie who comes to live with this girl Katie, and they have little fun, really cutesy, nice adventures together. And I've used the character of Orbie on two separate occasions to, this is a bit weird, win a tabletop role-playing game before the session 1 even happens and, like, complete the game. So we're going to talk about the second time this happened, and then the next time I'll talk about the first time it happened, because the second time came up recently. And the story's going to get a little mean.
Not too mean.
Well, it's going to be a little mean because of the nature of it. So we knew this guy. And he really wanted to run Pathfinder, and he really wanted to run it online. And he made a lot of very strange and very counterintuitive choices whenever he tried to run a game. We tried to play Vampire with him once, and we sent a flash mob to the lawn of a vampire's house in the middle of the day.
Just a flash mob.
Like a flash mob.
Just
Like a bunch
people
of
going there to dance.
Like teens going there to dance and drink because we put on Snapchat or Instagram. And, like, the next thing that happens is Terminators come out of the house and drones with, like,
human brains in them.
with human brains in them and blood, with razor guns come out and gun down, like, 30 teenagers. And this was, like, some town in Michigan, like, on Lake Superior.
But that's another story.
That's another story, but, like, we were like, why would you do that? We can no longer play this vampire game
Also,
because
he just broke the masquerade.
Because you broke the masquerade and you sent drones to murder teens on TV. Like, what?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That was a Requiem game, now that I think of it. So it was even weirder that this happened. Anyway, there are other examples, like, just weird stuff. And he approaches Nicole, and I guess me, and was all like, I want to run a Pathfinder game that's furry. And we're like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, we're going to be Pathfinder, but I want all the races to be furries. And we're like, okay, this is kind of like how in Vampire, all your vampire women are inevitably prostitutes.
All the changelings.
And all the changelings are inevitably prostitutes. It's a little weird, but okay.
You do you.
You do you, sure. You don't get to run online a lot, so we'll play this game. And Pathfinder's actually pretty good for doing this because you can reskin the races because it's D&D, it runs on races and ability scores. It has an engine under the hood that's free online, like on the wiki, where you can, like, mix and match and build your own unique custom races. You can add in different attributes and things and cool stuff. For example, we ran this Victim to Thistle game way back in the Arctic, and Nicole wanted to be half Sahagwin, like half shark woman. So she just took half-orc, and one of the options lets you swap out half-orc stuff for having an extra set of arms. She just did that. And bam, her mom was a human, her dad was half shark prince. Like, bing, bang, boom, done.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, don't use that matrix they have that's actually fairly balanced-ish. What he had done was he had bought for like 10, 15 bucks this book of running furries in Pathfinder. And I'm like, that seems awfully unnecessary. Why would you waste your money on that? And he's like, oh, because it's going to be a really good book for it. And I'm like, well, okay, sure. And he's like, don't make any changes. Use this book. You can't use the core Pathfinder races. It has to be this. And I'm like,
I think he did that because you played Lancelot de Lac in his vampire game.
Yeah, Lancelot was awesome. And he gave us 200 XP, so
yeah.
I had Forces 5.
Yeah.
I don't know why he gave us 200 XP. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, in the spirit of his game, we all built furries. Like, I think, Nicole, you built spider people, maybe? I don't remember.
I don't remember what anyone's
They were
character
like
was.
spider foxes. I think
I
Devon
don't
was building...
remember what anyone's characters were, but yours.
But Orbie?
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing, like, an emperor penguin who, like, had cyberware and was, like, steel-based, because that was an option you could do. And he was like, no, that's too close to this Pokemon, don't. And I'm like, I can't play Burgess Meredith as the penguin, as a penguin man. And he's like, no. I'm like, all right. Cool.
I mean, it's a cool Pokemon.
It is a cool Pokemon. So I started looking at the rules, and I'm like, these rules are not good, dude. They're unbalanced. This was probably not a smart purchase? Like this is wildly broken. And he's like, no, they're fine. You know, I paid for it. It costing money to him meant that it was vetted, and the free wiki was probably not up to snuff, even though the free wiki is literally Paizo content. So I'm like, all right, let's see where we're going with this. So I had to think of a furry thing to play that wasn't my Emperor Penguin. I thought of dolphins. So the idea was that I played this character called Orbie, and Orbie is from another world. He's a spelljammer. And he's a furry, so much as the definition for this game worked. I don't really know what he wanted. But he was from dolphin people, so he was like this sickly, gray-looking dude who was all thin. He had like a blowhole with like an oxygen tank on it and stuff, and he looked like a sectoid. He looked like a gray, but like dolphin-y with fins and gills and stuff. Like a bottlenose dolphin, but all like weird. And my pitch was he was a psionicist or a wizard, whatever they had in Pathfinder, that was the smart class. And he crashed on this world, and the atmosphere wasn't great for him. So he wanted to start an industrial revolution and give people like the automation and the tools of the trade and coal stuff. Because putting a bunch of carbon and cyanide and toxins in the air from factories would terraform it to be more like his world. So he could live there and his people could move here because they were looking for new worlds.
He was speeding up global warming.
Yeah, he was causing industrial revolutions and stuff. And because of how poorly the rules for the furry races were, Orbie, as I called him, started with intelligence 40.
Which is...
Now, for reference, Pathfinder,
possible.
you could pretty much max out int 20 to 22-ish. 40 is a lot. It's double that.
And that's 20 to 22 at like a high level.
I mean, at character creation, you can pull off 20 to 22. You start with an 18, you can get a +4. You can do it. You can do it.
I guess, but you
have to be...
Yeah,
you have to be very, very set up.
Yeah.
Orbie had 40. Which meant that his int modifier, the bonus he got to int rules, was +15. Which meant on a 4+, I was consistently hitting any DC he would throw at us.
Oh, yeah.
I think I had to roll a 1 mostly to do to not do super well. Because I don't think skill rolls critically fumble in Pathfinder. So even on a 1, I was getting a +16 plus skill ranks, and that could have bumped up to 20. So the guy goes to me and he's like, "Oh, well, we can't run this game at all." And I'm like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Your character's intelligence is 40. No, it wasn't 40. I think it was actually 50. I think I hit 50. Because of how bad the ability scores were managed in that game and how many freebies it let you get and how you got to wander.
Oh.
So as a wizard or a psionicist, as an int primary character, I had an int of 40 or 50. I don't remember.
Either way, ridiculous. Like,
yeah, at 40
overly
it's a
high.
+15. At 50 it's a +20. So beyond the D20 roll.
Yeah.
And he's like, "My game world will not survive with a character that vastly intelligent. I would have problems role-playing him." And I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm fine role-playing a character with int 50. I think it fits me just fine.
Humble brag.
Yeah, I know, right? Real piece of shit about it. But, yeah, that was the end of the game. Like, we didn't even get to session 1. He was like, Orbie would show up and he would conquer this world and turn it into a burning wreck, and there was nothing he could do about it. I didn't even pitch that either. I'm just like, alien, he wants to make lives better for people. He wants to set up, like, Victorian factories and stuff. And, like, in the long run, over, like, 100 years or something, it's going to, like, ruin this world. And he's like, yeah, that's going to happen immediately. No one will be able to stop you. You'll outthink every NPC I have. You'll have contingency plans. You'll never be able to stop me. And I'm like, alright!
Right.
I guess I win. I guess that's the end of the game.
Welcome to
We had
Factorio.
fun!
Yeah, welcome to Factorio. This was years before it even came up, but that's exactly what it would be like.
Yeah.
The engineer from Factorio shows up.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess that's the story of how you defeated the game before it even started with Orbie.
Yeah, that's the second time Orbie allowed me to instantly win a tabletop RPG and resolve the entire game before session 1. In session 0, the game was resolved. It was like, oh yeah, Orbie lands, and whoever the other party members are, they work together and achieve their goals, and the world becomes a smoking greenhouse wasteland. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Again, this one's a little meaner than the first time I beat a game with Orbie. But,
That's the story for the next time.
that's a story for another time. But yeah, it's a hot mess. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap. You guys got nothing else? You got no
No,
impact? You got no
was-
questions about Orbie?
No, that was. Orbie's a nightmare from
Yeah.
what I understand. I pray I never meet him.
I know, right? One day I want to crack him and actually play him in a game. I never get to play Orbie. I never get to play Orbie. Whenever I try to play my pink little alien dude, inevitably the game just
Ends.
the game has a complete and fulfilling arc that ends before the first session. So I can't be all like, meh, meh. I was gonna honk and stuff because I was a dolphin. Like make that clicking.
Oh, yeah.
Noises. I would have had a plus 20 in, so I'd have had 20 languages. I would have been a polyglot. I would have crossed every language barrier. Nothing could have stopped us. I'd be crafting masterwork stuff out the gate. I was pointing out too, like what In20 did, like mechanically to him. It was like, yeah, it like triples all my spell slots for all levels coming up. It makes it so I can craft masterwork stuff. We can launder money this way and like create a viable economy. I can start as a blacksmith because I had ranks in blacksmithing and like pottery and like we could with my 20 we could like build up the textile industry and stuff and like right off the bat people will be wearing denim. I think I pitched that I'd be putting what do they call them? Mom jeans because I could master denim. And he's like, that's what you want, right? Because it's supposed to be like, oh, we're all Anthros characters, right? So look, someone will wear mom jeans. That's what you want, right? That's what you're into, right? And he wasn't into it. He wasn't into anything. The game was over. That's it. So I was Devon.
Nicole.
Ian.
And Peter.
And this is sponsored by nobody. Signing off.